And the Thunder rolls in Game 2. We're going to try to break it all down. Let's get it. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video. OKC rolls in Game 2 pretty easily. They win 123-107. They tied the series up in the NBA Finals 1-1, heading back to Indy on Wednesday. So yeah, we're just going to try to break it all down. Let's first get into just kind of what happened in this game. Let's look into the notes here. Let's look into the trusty old notebook. Okay, first thing, OKC sticks with the Case and Wallace starting lineup, which we talked about in the first video, how they went to a different starting lineup, which they haven't done this entire playoff run. They took Hartenstein out the starting lineup, and they entered with Case and Wallace. He gets the first bucket of this game, which it did kind of make sense. We talked about this a little bit in the first video, but talking about it more, it really was a good move because I was kind of indifferent. I think it was weird that they did it, but I didn't really care. I'm gonna trust the coach more than I trust myself most of the time. So, or any of the OKC fans, I'm gonna trust the coach 99.9% of the time. And that was just it. It was to guard Siakam, right? Because they couldn't have two bigs being able to guard Turner and Siakam on the outside. They weren't fast enough. They're lengthy enough to be able to do that. So they end up putting Case and Wallace in there, who is obviously shorter, but he can fit on the outside on the perimeter a lot easier. The Pacers' game plan showed pretty early in this one. It was kind of make anyone but Shea beat us. It didn't really work except for the first quarter. And Shea struggled a little bit in the first quarter. He eventually found his footing. I think he ended with 34. He shot 11 for 21, which is pretty good. Had 8 assists, 4 steals. Pretty good game from Shea. 5 rebounds. I thought Shea was actually, besides the first quarter, which I think the Pacers defended him well, they didn't have much help being played, so like Nembhard kind of stuck to him when he was in the corner. They trapped on the pick and rolls really well, but eventually Shea figured that out, and he started kind of like weaseling in between them or dribbling between them, and then their game plan was to kind of just let others shoot, which they kind of strayed away from. It felt like the Pacers were kind of all over in this game. Like they didn't stick to one play style. They went to zone for a little bit, which was not that long, probably like 4 possessions max. And then they went back to man or whatever. But it felt like they didn't know what to do. And in this scenario, I feel like sometimes you have to make changes, but there's a bunch of things. There's other things that you can do. It's not switching up things entirely. I thought Jalen Williams, J-Dub, was very, very good in this game. He's not going to get enough love, in my opinion, from the stat sheet of how well I think he played. He shot 5 for 14 compared to that first game. That is great. He was a +5. He had 19 points. He had 5 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal. He shot 9 free throws, which I thought was good. He looked very, very aggressive out there. I was very impressed. From the start of this game, he set the tone defensively. And I think that was the main thing for OKC, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But early, they didn't respect the three-point shooting from Indiana, and they were kind of just letting Indiana hang in that first quarter. OKC finally went to double bigs. They did, and they didn't do it in the entirety of Game 1. They did it here because Turner and Siakam were off the floor, so they were able to do it. And they actually played really, really well. They went on a 9-0 run with them, so pretty efficient. In the second quarter, I said in the last video that this is the series of role players. And in this game, I think that showed even more. TJ McConnell and Alex Caruso, those two guys are the best kind of hold-the-line players I have ever seen. When they come into the game, they might not be like, they might not go on these like 21-0 runs for you or anything crazy, but they hold the line. They keep you in the game until your starters get rest and can come back in. TJ McConnell, I thought, was great tonight in the minutes he got. Alex Caruso was magnificent. Yeah, he had 20. Dang, he really got up to 20. He shot 6 for 11. excellent defensively. Same thing with TJ McConnell. They hit big threes, play good defense, and they just are hustle players. And when you have guys like that coming off your bench, it helps so much. And the coach can trust so much more to put their starters on the bench for longer periods of time to get more rest. So I thought that was really cool. Kind of like hold the line players, I think, is one of my new phrases. Like, are you a hold the line player? Are you a superstar? Are you a role player? Or are you just an ant guy? I think those are kind of the 4 categories. Hold the line players. Book it. Yeah, again, the J-Dub minutes were impressing me. Tyrese just felt stuck in this game, man. And that's going to be a lot of the talk, is when he is aggressive, most of the time, the Pacers are going to win that game. I think there's some stat where he shoots over 15 shots, and the Pacers are like, win almost 90% of their games if he shoots over 15 shots. I think tonight he shot 13, and that was like majority. Yeah, he shot 7 for 13. He had 17 points. He ended as a -5, which is actually not horrible compared to the other starters. It was just a weird game from Tyrese Halliburton. He would pick up his dribble at the wrong times. He would dribble too much at some times, and then he was not aggressive at all. He just didn't look for his shot, and that's something we've seen from Tyrese Halliburton kind of this season is in the first half, he has to come out aggressive from the jump ball, man. I mean, in the first game, I think he only took 14 shots, maybe one more, which obviously hit the shot, and they got back into it with some stellar play from other guys. But he's got to shoot more if they're going to win this series, man. You got to show why you're the best player on the Pacers, and he has in this playoff run, but it has to be the entire game to beat OKC. It can't just be in the last, he played good in the fourth quarter, and so like 16 minutes of the 48-minute game? It's got to be more. Aaron Wiggins, man. Oh, gosh. Aaron frickin' Wiggins. I have told y'all this so many times on my podcast with Charlie, on this channel, that Aaron Wiggins would be a starter for 25 other teams in the NBA. And on this team, he is maybe like the 9th man? Is that crazy to say? Probably 8th man? Yeah, like Aaron Wiggins, the way he plays basketball to me is so like lighthearted, and I don't. That's probably not a great word to describe it, but it's so fluid. It's like he's always ready to shoot. He's always going to sit in a chair and defend. He's smooth when he has the ball. He doesn't talk a ton of trash. He's a pretty level-headed player, and I feel like on this OKC team, they kind of are all like that, but some show some emotion at times, and he just feels like he is this guy who comes off the bench. He plays really, really well. Let's see what his plus-minus was tonight. My boy was a plus 24. Plus 24. He took the switch almost every time when he got Halliburton. That is a dog, man. Aaron Wiggins. Shout out to Aaron Wiggins. That's my dog. That's one of my favorite players in the NBA. Yeah, I didn't really, like, in this third and fourth quarter, I didn't take many notes. I was kind of out of this game, honestly. I thought it was a good game. Like, it showed me a lot from what OKC can be, what they can do. And yeah, so the main thing for OKC, and the main point that I wanted to make for them, is their work ethic in OKC basketball showed well tonight. I don't think it was a perfect game all around, for sure. I think OKC cannot play like that. I don't think they can play like that the rest of the series and win an NBA championship. Now, if they score 123 points and they limit them to 105 or under, which Pacers scored 107, but a little garbage time minutes or points, OKC can beat a lot of teams if you're scoring over 120 with their defense. So, but what I thought was so good was the work ethic. It was like, what did I say exactly? I said, yeah, offensive rebounding, diving for loose balls. Like, it just felt like the effort was just there tonight. It compared to the other night where I feel like they were getting out hustled in that second half by the Pacers, and that's not OKC basketball. I mean, they were getting to the rim. Alex Caruso was a dog on defense. They were all dogs on defense tonight. J-Dub, Shea was really, really good defensively, in my opinion, tonight. I thought Aaron Wiggins was really good defensively. I thought Isaiah Joe sat in the chair a couple of times and defended. And obviously the Chet minutes defensively were really, really good, and offensively weren't too bad. He might get overlooked a little bit on the stat sheet with the other guys, but Chet played a very good game tonight. And I thought he was pretty efficient. Besides that, and then I guess we can just get into what we think the keys are for the Pacers in Game 3, and I think it is you have to start aggressive, and that stays with Tyrese Halliburton, but from the jump, you have to be diving after the first loose ball. You're the first one on the ground. Going for the rebounding. Man, they did a really good job of that in Game 1, and OKC did a really good job of that in Game 2. Rebounding might be a big part of this series that a lot of people aren't realizing is how many extra possessions the Pacers got in Game 1 and how many extra possessions OKC got in Game 2 just from offensive rebounding. It was pretty impressive. So, yeah, for the Pacers, it's just coming out aggressive, coming out with a dog mentality, and I think they can take Game 3. Indy is a hard place to win, man, and OKC is too, but Pacers got one, and it is going to be hard for OKC to walk in there in Game 3 and take a game easily. I think they can, but it's not going to be as easy as this one. Pacers are going to put up a fight in Game 3, and for OKC, it's continuing to do what you do, but it feels like this performance tonight is the best I've seen them play, obviously in this series, maybe in the last series too. I think they played really, really well tonight. But I don't really know what it is for OKC. It's forcing turnovers like they've done all year. It feels like they turned the Pacers over, 25 times in Game 1 and still lost. So I don't really know what the thing is for OKC. I think it's just keep playing your ball. Your brand of basketball is what works for you all season. It's what made you the best team in the NBA. So for OKC, just be yourself. I think they can win a championship if they just be themselves. The Pacers got an uphill climb. I think both teams can do it, but it's definitely a bigger climb for the Pacers than the Thunder because seeing what the Thunder showed me tonight, I think they got a good chance to win it all. I'm still sticking with Pacers in 6, though. I think they're going to win 2 at home. Mark my words. I don't know what it is, but the Pacers just have something, and I can't really put a pin on exactly what it is, but they've got it. So that's really all I got. I appreciate y'all for watching. God, man. Shai's a dog. I appreciate him a lot more in these finals. It's made me appreciate the way he plays basketball. Same thing with Tyrese Halliburton. So it's going to be a fun Game 3 back in Indy. That place is going to be rocking, brother. Rocking. All right, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out, guys.